Guys, welcome to my channel. Today pupunta tayo dito sa Arcovia dito sa Quezon City para mag-test drive nitong bagong Ford Everest. Medyo maulan pero napansin ko marami ding mga nakapark na kotse. Ibig sabihin maraming titingin nitong bagong Ford Everest. Nag-ikot ako sa dealership ng Ford para gusto kong i-review kasi yung 4x4 na titanium model. Pero wala akong makita kasi puro yung 4x2 o kaya yung trend o yung sport model, hindi yung top of the line. Dito naman kasi medyo maraming tao so hindi ako makakapag-review ng maganda. So hopefully in the coming weeks makapag-review ako nung 4x4 model. So I can share with you my insights about it. Okay, nandito na tayo. Pipila tayo para mag-test drive. Okay, so let's go inside. Check muna natin sandali itong interior habang naghihintay tayo ng ating turn para mag-test drive. So ang una kong napansin, yung kanyang quality interior, maganda yung design, tapos nakaka-attract yung yung ambient lighting. Yung interior design niya is similar dun sa Ford Ranger na na-review ko na. So familiar na ako dun sa look niya with that huge infotainment system na parang iPad. Heto naman ang interior looks ng kanyang sport model. Ito yung parang black edition kasi black yung mags, may mga black accent. So, iba naman yung design ng kanyang seats. Before I start, I'd like to share with you itong multi-system scanner na gawa ng CG Sulit. So, if you are a vehicle owner or for family use, itong SC530 almost meets all your maintenance need. So, you don't need to buy a separate diagnostic tool anymore. Actually, you just need one scanner and software for one or few car brands. So you can enjoy the pre-update service for the lifetime of the device. With SC530's professional OE level diagnosis, you can do serious scheduled maintenance tasks or repairs, which brings you a sense of accomplishment and saves a lot of money and time. Meron din siyang 2.8 inches TFT color screen combined with a button navigation design to easier operation in the greasy workplace. So you don't need to take off your work gloves to use it easily. In short, SC530 is a perfect choice for car owners and DIYer enthusiasts looking for that accurate diagnosis. Just plug it in your OBD port and you can start using it. So if you're interested to buy, just go to their official website, yung cgsulit.com, and there's also a link below where you can come in and you get 12% off on your purchase. Just highlight the discount code LEVY and you get 12% discount. Okay, we will start the test drive. So I'm familiarizing myself with the configuration dito and para madali kong makita and you could see yung malaki na sunroof hanggang dun sa likod. So we are ready to go. So as usual, it's a push button start and then you have the instrument cluster na purely digital talaga. So maganda, and with that big screen in front of you na parang iPad. So that's very attractive. Yung kanyang handbrake is automatic na, which is usual naman sa mga modern SUVs. So, tanungin natin sa instructor how it functions. Automatic na rin siya, hindi na siya. Yung sa ibang car kasi you have to set.
Yes.
So, this one you don't need to.
It will disengage if coming from park to drive. And then you put gas.
Okay.
It will turn off.
Okay, start na tayo dito sa short test drive. Ang napansin ko dito is malambot yung kanyang manibela. Kasi electric power steering siya. Tapos, ang tahimik ng loob ng cabin, para siyang gasoline engine. Very smooth. Okay, turn tayo sa kaliwa, no? You would observe na ito turn ko yung manibela ng madali kasi malambot yung manibela. Kasi sa ibang PPV, medyo mabigat yung steering. The camera is now on, pero yan, nag-off siya because we are running at more than 10 kilometers per hour. Kasi ang design niya, kapag tumatakbo ka na ng mabilis, dapat hindi ka na nakatingin dun sa camera kasi it will distract the driver and it will be prone to accident. Dahil sa malaki yung screen niya, nakikita mo yung sa taas na hati niya, yung isa top view, yung isa naman yung front view. So, it guides the driver. So, sa mga maliliit na space o makikitid, makikita mo na yung side ng sasakyan mo. So, malaking tulong yun.
Pero meron din siyang auto hold feature.
Yes. So you can try it right now. I'll try it on. It's there.
Wala dito.
So that's that green light there.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's say let go of the brakes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then press the gas. So every time you stop, it'll hold.
So guys, meron siyang auto hold feature pala. Andun lang ang control sa infotainment system. Medyo hindi ko lang gusto ang design nito kasi walang physical button yung auto hold. Parang medyo hassle i-operate. Kasi kailangan mo pang pumunta dun sa menu para ma-access mo yung auto hold feature. Dito sa right side naman ng manibela, meron ditong button to control the instrument cluster na purely digital. So you can actually play around with it, you can change the color. So it's very modern, no? Wala na siyang analog type. So marami diyang mga features that you can play around with. Check naman natin kung paano gumagana yung park assist. Ito yung sariling magpa-park siya. So meron siyang button dito, tapos makikita mo sa screen kung nasaan ka. For example, yan, in this case, nasa kanan yung intention mo to park. And then you can control that using itong signal lever to sa signal line, no? So pag binaba ko yan binaba ko yan. Nakita mo, pumunta sa kaliwa, ibig sabihin, sa kaliwa ka magpa-park. Nasa kanan ngayon, sa kanan ako magpa-park. You can also do perpendicular parking yan, no? And then pwede rin yung going out of the slot. Gusto kong i-highlight how upmarket yung interior niya compared doon sa mga competitors niya. Parang napag-iwanan na niya yung iba. And then, ang laki pa ng space niya. Very roomy.
Car stuff, everything settings is all in here. At the back, we have this one's entertainment. Apple CarPlay games. It's basically an iPad na.
Okay.
Charger, USB and USB-C, French fry holder.
French fries.
Yeah, may sign pa sila na French fries dyan.
Pero kasi yung iPhone siguro dito.
Oo, yeah, I'm sure naman. May lang, parang gimmick.
Okay.
You have a cubby over here. You have a cup holder here. Quite a bit. Panoramic roof. This is for the glass. This is for the vents. There's quite a bit on the car.
Very useful yung large screen niya. Ang gusto ko dito yung owner's manual. Nandito naka-input na rin. And then, pwede ka rin mag-drawing yung parang ganyan. Which is very cool. By the way, ito nga palang infotainment system. Ito yung pinakamalaki sa class niya. So, walang ganyan ang mga competitors niya. So, I would say Ford has really leveled up and it has successfully differentiated itself from its competitors. Because of that system, ang dami mong pwedeng magawa which can be useful in your driving. Ang isang con lang dito siguro is, of course, because it's electronic, pag nasira ito, apektado yung operation ng iyong sasakyan. Pero siguro hindi naman basta-basta masisira ito. Kasi yung control mo ng aircon nandun naman sa labas Kasi you can also control yung aircon doon sa loob ng infotainment system. But again, meron siyang physical button, which is a good move by Ford. Pwede mo pang tisin na sira yung infotainment system. Pero kung yung aircon ang sira, mas mahirap, diba? And just to add, yung diff lock niya, ma-operate mo sa screen din. Okay, try naman natin yung parallel parking. So, ang procedure dyan, so dito, magpapark tayo dito sa in-between itong dalawang Ford Ranger na kulay yellow. So, ipuposisyon natin itong sasakyan dito sa may bandang gilid niya, no? Yan, medyo abante ka ng konti. And then, nakasignal na tayo to the left. So, pag magpa-park ka, nakita nakasignal ako sa left. Ibig sabihin, papasok tayo doon sa kaliwa. Makita mo doon sa screen, ano? So, ang gagawin mo, ilalagay mo sa neutral. And then, ipipress mo itong park assist button. Pero yung paa mo, tanggalin mo sa preno. Wala kang gagalawin. Pati yung manibela. So, pag pinindot mo yung button na yan, aatras na siya ng kanya. Makikita mo rin doon sa screen, no? So, parang 45 degrees papasok. So, wala kang inaapakan na gas or something. Pero, remember, naka-neutral yan. Ang kinokontrol ko lang yung button. So, automatic siyang mag-stop, hindi mo siya magbe-brake. And then, press mo rin yung button. So, aabante siya ng konti. And then, mag-beep siya pagka malapit na. And then, aatras na naman uli siya para parallel parking without doing anything, no? Naka-hands-free ako. Ayun, naabante siya. Mag-a-adjust uli siya dun sa tamang-tamang distance ng parallel parking. Pag narinig mo na yung sound na yun, ibig sabihin, okay na, naka-park na. So, tatanggalin mo na yung finger mo dun sa switch and then put sa park na yung cambio. So, paglabas mo, ganun din, same procedure, wala kang tatapakan na gas at saka brake, no? Puput sa neutral and then ipipress mo ulit itong button and then kusa siyang lalabas unti-unti, no? So, yan, no? Pinress ko na yung button, so lumalabas na siya pakanan. Yan, nakita mo, yung manibela, pumipihit pakanan without me doing the assistance. So, if you look closely dun sa screen, so makita mo, unti-unti siyang lumalabas. So, makatatansya mo rin na, na talagang meron pa siyang space. So, yun, bumabalik uli. And then, he's trying to get out of this parallel parking. Yun, makita ko meron ng distance siya. So, okay na yan. Okay, done na tayo sa parking. So, natin gagawin is labas na tayo and then pupunta tayo doon sa tubig. So, bakit naman yung manibela? Malambot talaga. Electric power steering. So, pupunta tayo doon sa area na tetestingin natin yung wading depth. Ang wading depth nito is 800 mm. So, tingnan natin how it will perform. So, mag-U-turn tayo para may kasa natin doon sa pagtetestingin doon sa water area, no? So, that's where we would like to go. We can now test yung kanyang wading depth kasi ang design niya is 800 mm. Yung iba kasi, ang wading depth, mas mababa doon. Now, we are going up the ramp para bumaba dito sa So, walang kahirap-hirap umakyat. Very useful yung 360 camera niya kapag gumagawa ka ng ganitong mga maneuver. Kasi makikita mo yung harap.
Just slowly in, slowly. That's the, that's the auto hold coming on. There.
Alright.
Sige. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Kasi every time you stop, it will hold everything.
Okay, so I have to go now.
So you're okay. Yeah.
Alright.
Parang just gingerly let it go. No need to gas it. Bit to the right.
So, umakyat ako dito sa tubig. Walang kahirap-hirap. So, tightly sealed. So, hindi naman pumasok yung tubig kahit malalim. So, okay na okay siya. And now, ang gagawin natin is check natin yung mga drive mode niya. So, dito testing naman natin doon sa mga lubak-lubak. May mga tubig. So, malalalim. So, pag dinadrive mo siya, ang gaan, hindi siya maalog. At pag dumadaan siya over bumps, komportable pa rin. And composed yung ride. I can compare the quality of the ride with the Nissan Terra. If not, it's even better. Ayan, kayang-kaya niya. In fact, composed na composed siya. Dahil naka-watch link suspension din ito, so maganda ang response ng suspension. So ramdam ko hindi siya talaga yung magalaw. at hindi sobrang lambot ng suspension. Kasi yung sa Montero ko, masyadong magalaw eh. Malambot masyado yung suspension. Ito parang firm siya na tama lang. Yung drive mode niya, naka-design siya doon. So, to compensate dun sa requirement nung road. Remember, meron itong different drive modes. Merong baha, may storm, may snowy. So, you can use that depending on the driving mode. So, kung merong madulas, pwede mo siyang magamit. So, yun ang kagandahan dito. Pagka 4x4 ang dala mo. Pero pagka 4x2, wala siyang driving mode. O isa lang yung kanyang driving mode. So, makita mo dito, lubak-lubak na kami, pero okay pa rin. I would say with these obstacles spread on the road, kayang-kaya ng Ford Everest na to. Ngayon, tetest naman natin yung climbing ability na. Ito is yung design, ito is parang almost 45 degrees, very steep yung climb, So, nagpreno ako and then press start. So, here, paakyat tayo ng steep climb. From rest position, ramdam mo yung torque niya na 500 Newton meters of torque at saka yung 210 PS na power ng engine comes into play. So, hindi siya hirap. Ngayon, pababa na tayo dito. Then, we'll turn on yung, tingnan natin yung hill descent control. Yan, pinindot ko yung green na yon. And then, we'll go to hill descent control. So, pag activate nun, brake ka, tapos tanggalin mo yung paa mo sa preno. So, unti-unti na siyang bababa on its own. Yan, hindi ako nakatapak sa preno, pero bumababa siya ng dahan-dahan. So, ayun, natapos na. Nakababa ako using hill descent control. Overall, magandang impression ko sa kanya. Ang napansin ko talaga dito, yung level of refinement niya. Kasi sa PPVs, hindi mo ini-expect yung ganitong level of refinement. Kasi usually, pagka PPV, ladder frame chassis siya. Tapos, diesel engine pa siya. So, its noise, vibration, saka harshness is not its strong point. But this one drives like almost a crossover level. And to add, yung mga features niya, ramdam mo talaga na in-improve ni Ford. So, talagang pinag-isipan. I guess if you're looking for a comfortable ride, ang gandang choice nitong Everest. Yung seats are malambot, maganda ang vision from inside, at saka high-tech siya. Plus, meron siyang extra. Meron siyang malaking moonroof na hanggang dun sa likod. So, tamang-tama pagka kasama mo yung pamilya, di ba? Ang pinaka-issue ko na lang dito, yung reputation ng Ford in terms of reliability. Hindi mo siya mako-compare doon sa mga Japanese rivals nila na well-known for their quality. But I suppose na-adjust na nila yung mga issues before, especially sa engine and transmission ng previous model. So this is already the second iteration, so I think this is really good enough. And you can see from the reaction of the market, ang dami ng Everest sa kalsada. Marami rin kasi ang bumibili nito because of the level of refinement is actually different from its competitors. Iba yung level niya. So, kung ang hanap mo yung top of the line na 4x4, it will cost you 2.5 million. Yan na ang pinakamahal sa mga PPVs ngayon. So, sa mga new buyers na naghahanap ng bagong SUV, this is a very good option. Alright, hanggang dito na lang. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, see you again in my next vlog. Bye!